just as a segue, we are a mixture of, different people. We are, you did not just become who you are now by just happenstance. You are who you are by virtue of those that you have around you, those that you've interacted with, those that you've, opened your heart to. We are who we are, honestly, by a virtue of just, other people. Like, how even your profession, the skills you have, the way you do your work, you observed other people do things in different ways, and then you now picked, the best of all the different things that you've seen in different areas, and you imbibe them into your life, and it informs, how you then go about how I'm no longer in the choir now. There's a reason for that, obviously. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abisola, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys lessons I've learned from my mentors, and I'm going to start with, especially female mentors that I've had close relationships with, and some of the things that I feel like are very important in the kind of mentors that you have around you. And it will also help you introspect and think about who you are as well, and how you are influencing others around you. Okay, so if you'd like to hear more about this, please definitely keep watching. So I think the first person I would like to mention, that has impacted my life significantly in terms of my female role models, female examples that I've had all through my life, would firstly be my mother. My mom, I wanted to be a nurse from when I was as young as I could remember, because of my mom. And this is because obviously she was such a lovely person, not just on the outside, but in my relationship with her. My mom is very nurturing, very generous, very selfless, very caring. She's very fierce. Up until today, my mom is still the one that, if I have anything to do, any project to work on, she's one of those I would definitely reach out to and tell about it, and my mom is like, let's go, let's get it done. And some of the qualities I dearly love in my mom, observing her as a child growing up, was my mom was the kind of person that, when people offended her and when people did things against her, my mom did not use it against them as such. She would just say, right, meaning like, I just did mine for God. I just did mine, as unto the Lord. And she's not even a believer, and I'm really trusting God for the salvation of her soul. But no, she's a very genuine, caring person. When people offend her, she doesn't try to, do tit for tat or try to avenge herself. She allows, she just allows for things to happen during the course of time. So I think that's one of the things I love the most about my mom. She's, very open-hearted, very warm to people generally. When my mom came here and she met my friends, even the fact that I'm talking to you, my mom is friends with majority of my actual friends here in the UK, on Facebook, on WhatsApp. Like, they chat, because my mom is just that kind of person that, she loves, she connects to people, she thinks about how she can benefit other people. She, she's very selfless, she's very giving of herself. She'll look out for how she can, what can I do for this person? How can we be of help to this person? Even with, not that she was like the most wealthiest person growing up, but I guess your wealth is not just in what you have in possessions. It's about just how generous you are and how abundant, you have a mindset of to always reach out to others, to always care for others. So yeah, very caring, very selfless, very warm. She connects to people. In fact, I don't even think I'm as friendly as my mom is. I think my mom is even more friendly than I am with a lot of people that that I know. In fact, she probably even talks to some of my friends that I don't even talk to anymore. My mom is that kind of person. So yeah, she's very warm, those are some of the dear qualities that I love so much about my mom. She's been a very significant influence in my life, and I thank God that God chose her to be the vessel that actually birthed me into this earth. I love her heart. It's so pure. And I pray that, God rewards her for our good deeds. So yes, Sister Banke, and gosh, what I don't know, like Sabanke, God literally placed her in my life. And she has, I don't even think she recognizes what she represents enough to me in my life. Being a new convert and being in the community that I found myself, I think she was the first person I could discern to be a mentor to me in my church. One of the things that she actually did, I was in the choir when I started, and I was in the choir when I, joined the church and I became a part of the workforce. Initially I was in sanctuary department, trying to be, I just had this idea that sanctuary is just like a more noble calling in the church. And I'm sure there's so many other people that feel that way, like, our ballet, those that walk the walk and are happy not to be seen, to keep the household of God clean. Yeah, that I don't know, but I felt like that was what I don't even know where I got the idea from, because it's not like I'd been around church people or anything like that. But I just knew I wanted to be the sanctuary until and then my pastor was just like, Sola, go and join the choir, and he asked me to go and join the choir. I'm no longer in the choir now. There's a reason for that, obviously. So yeah, I joined the choir, and I think I have a beautiful sonorous voice, but there's so many intricacies that has to do with being in choir. Anyway, I joined the choir and I met the banker. I met her, obviously she was already, before I became part of the workforce, I was already a church member. I don't think I really paid much attention to her, but when I joined the choir, and I think my husband, who was my friend then, was also close to her and her family. But one of the things that, let me get to the point of why, I joined the choir. I saw her in church, her commitment to the household of God. She's very, what's the word, very resourceful. Yeah, that's the word. Samake is very resourceful. If there was any problem, there was anything that needed to be done, she would, get up, get it done. She would, just get things done. If there was a problem, she would think of a way around it. If jobs needed to be done, she knew how to like delegate to people, get people on board. I was in the youth department. I was a youth then, obviously. So, I was part of the people that would probably, be called on to come and help with things. And I saw the way she organized us really well, in assisting and in helping in the church. Such a, and such a resourceful person, responsible, a leader. And I think one of the other things that I observed about her as well specifically was around how, as I started to grow more in the things of God, even, she was, I think Samake is one of the most humble people I know, because she doesn't have any airs about her. There is no airs. There is no like, oh, you just came to the faith yesterday and have been here like what, since I was born. Very very, very humble. I think that's one of the words that describes her. Very, very humble, very unassuming. She's very loaded with the word of God, very vast, very, Stabanke is humble. She can serve. I remember for the longest time, when I first had Inilua, Inilua would go to her place, and herself and pastor, I just observed that resourcefulness around her, that that service. And I also saw how she never allowed the children that she had to be an excuse for her not to serve in the house of God. She would carry herself and the boys, get up over and over and over and over again. So I know, like, I have a global audience and there's so many people watching this video, but I wonder if there are people around you that are showing you examples, but because you have not discerned them correctly, you might not know why God has placed them in your life. So be part of the community you are in, join your local assembly, join the workforce, observe people, follow people as they follow Christ. Genuinely, it's been of significant impact to me, watching her and observing the things that, the commitment, the faithfulness, all those things I was talking about in the video I did about lessons I've learned from being in the church. These are people that I actually learned it from. That accountability, that service, that humility, that everything. These are people that, observing them, genuinely I could see the work of God at hand in their lives, and I never knew that was what was happening, but it was just rubbing off one way or the other. And here we are now. One of the other things I love genuinely about Sabanke, her being my mentor, is I noticed Sabanke doesn't compete with people. She doesn't place this, copy and paste whoever is mentoring you. She doesn't envy. There's no pride. There's no there's no, some people, when they talk to you, they talk and they jab at you. They will give you a compliment, but they would say, I remember somebody saying to me one day, I had a worship party for my birthday, and someone was saying to me that day, while they asked me, oh, so how old are you now? She was like, this was about 4 years ago. So she was like, you were not in Dagbao. This is not my Stabanket. This was somebody else that was commenting, you were not in Dagbao, oh girl. But the way they said it was very condescending, you two, you are growing up. It was very, I don't know how to explain it, people that just always have a backhanded tone to how they speak to you. Not like that, excuse me. She was someone that she is someone that, no envy, no no guile, no deceit, no, I don't know how to explain it. She stays in her lane, celebrates people. I don't know someone that celebrates people like she does. And she has recently written a book, and I'll do a review of the book at some point on the channel. But I would maybe insert the video of the book that she wrote as well here. She's such a loaded person, generous, open arms, warm. Because I think it's important for me to say this, because I joined the church in a period where I was literally unraveling who I was before and becoming a new person. So it mattered a lot, the kind of people that I had around me. Imagine if she was someone that had all this mean girl attitude about her. What are the possibilities that I would have not ended up being a mean girl as well? Being so young in the faith and being impressionable, you would think that that's actually how it ought to be, wouldn't you? When people are gossipy, no gossip, no gossiping spirit, nothing like that. No backbiting, no talking, none of that. Literally none of that around her. It's pure, bands, correction in love, service, humility, celebration, honor. I don't know, but I don't know, because when I interact with some people and I see the kind of ways they behave, I wonder why do they think it's okay to behave this way? Why do they think that this attitude of pushing your way forward, being completely careless about other people, being having to always be the one that is trying to push yourself forward, trying to do this, all those kind of I don't know what the word is to describe it, but all those kind of self glorification and self magnification things, and other things that I saw or I've seen in her, in the way she conducts her lifestyle. So very, very unassuming, very beautiful, very generous, very just an altogether. And are we perfect? No, but I'm not going to lie to you. Just in observing, I think one of the most highly treasured things that I find just a treasure is that heart that is not, as the word of God says, that heart that is just full of love, full of virtues, the virtues of Christ, in how she serves the family, how she serves her loved one. So yeah, that's one of the things I love so much about my Ambanki. And think about the people that are mentoring you. As I said earlier, what are some of those things? Are they people that are gossips, people that talk at people down, people that they don't have any it's like you cannot be with us. You cannot. You are there. We are here. You are there. You know, some people always make it so obvious and so like you don't like you're nothing. But that's never been the case with this my beautiful people that God has blessed me with. Even my mom, like my mom, even from when I was young, she would say like things like, Bisola, you're just such a, she would just give me words like, you're such a, your taste is just very beautiful. You know, give good compliments and words of, you know, words that make you bloom and make you confident and do something to your spirit. And then finally, just, you know, for the purpose of today's video, one of the other person that has truly impacted me is my pastor's wife. And we call her Pastor Mrs. She's Mrs. Abidim. You know, one of the things I love so much about her is, you know, she is such, you know, just as a segue, we are a mixture of, you know, different people. We are, you know, you did not just become who you are now by just happenstance. You are who you are by virtue of those that you have around you, those that you've interacted with, those that you've, you know, opened your heart to. We are who we are, honestly, by a virtue of just, you know, other people. Like, you know how even your profession, the skills you have, the way you do your work, you observed other people do things in different ways, and then you now picked, you know, the best of all the different things that you've seen in different areas, and you imbibe them into your life, and it informs, you know, how you then go about how you do your own things. So the third person, as I was saying, my Pastor Mrs., one of the things I love so much about her as well is just, you know, gosh, and these are like people that are just gem, that are precious people. One of the things I love so much about her is, again, her humility, her generosity, her kindness, her warmth. Oh Jesus, if you know her, you know, you like such a generous person. Like my Pastor Mrs. Hey God, sometimes you wonder like what why are these people like she would talk to you, she rub minds with you, be giving you advice, but you will not even know that they are giving you advice. Like, you know, very open, very warm. I remember one time, you know, when I first started ministry, I have a ministry called Streams of Delight, and I lead women. We pray, we worship, we encourage ourselves in the Word of God, you know, all that good stuff. And when I first started the ministry and I was having a physical event, I remember going to meet her and saying, no, I remember feeling worried about telling her, because I was like, I don't want her to feel like, you know, I don't know how to even tell her that I have a ministry. You know me, I'm just that kind of person that I'm like, I don't want this. I don't want it to seem like I'm stepping on her toes. And it was just, you know, a lot of just my own personal limitations in my own mind. And I remember I went to meet her. I said, I just told her like last minute and said, Mommy, you know, I'm having this program for women. We're just going to spend some hours in prayers and all of that. And she was like, oh yeah, okay, no problem. Thanks for letting me know. And later on, and I went to meet her. She came. Like I told her last minute, but she still came. She came, spent time with us, shared. In fact, she wasn't ministering, but she came. Like, you don't understand. Hey, Kabale. She wasn't ministering, but she came. She showed up, you know, and she wasn't able to stay till the very end, until the end of the program, but she stayed for the majority of it. And when I went to meet her later, I was like, Mommy, I'm so sorry that I took so long in telling you. And I was like, Mommy, you know, And she said, Bisola, I understand that, you know, some Pastor Misses, they will not even allow you to do this kind of thing when you're in their church. They'll not give you room to express yourself. But I'm not like that. You know, she literally quenched away every fear that every worry I had in my mind. And, you know, her humility is unrivaled. Her generosity, God, her generosity, you know, before she that she has given this, given that. She's such a generous person, very open arms, very warm heart. Again, that thing of no envy, no jealousy, no competition, no putting people down, no condescending voice speaking against your soul that will make you doubt yourself. None of that. Just affirming, loving. Has she corrected me several times? Yes, she has. On few occasions she has corrected me, and me, I consider it to be a blessing when people feel like they can correct you, when people feel like they can speak to you and let you know when you've done something in a way that wasn't the best way of going about it. I genuinely consider it a privilege and an honor when I have those kind of conversations. Is it hard on my soul when they are doing it sometimes? Yes. Even now it's getting a bit better, because myself, I've already given myself word, like, okay, maybe the way that thing is not as best, I should have done better. So yeah, just very beautiful. So think about the kind of person you are being. Are you the condescending type to people around you? Are you a humble person? Do you serve people? Do you only serve people that are your peers? Can you serve people that are not your peers, but maybe they are beneath you, or they are younger than you, or you have more advantage than them, or whatever? Do you reach out just upwards, or do you reach out downwards? What kind of example are you being? What kind of role model are you being? Are you being competitive in how you handle your affairs? Are you being are you being just me, myself, and I, no other person? It's me, or it's my way, or the highway? Is it just your own things that are important to you? Or how are you serving God? How are you showing up? Because as I said, one of the things I said about Stabanke a lot is she'll say, she remember, she give me an example of her grandma. She say, my grandma, she used to carry all of us to church, even to vigil. And she will carry the mat, she will carry the cover clothes, all of us will sleep there, but she will carry us. So she had that mentality of like, nothing can actually stop me from showing up in church, for showing up in service, for carrying my children along. My children are not an excuse. She did that, like modeled it so well, models it so well, and I'm just so grateful and thankful for their examples, and for their faith, for their own journey in God that has impacted my own journey in God, for their being. We don't know, like human beings, we learn by observing. Children learn to walk. They walk because they see other people work. They see other people walking. They talk because they see other people talking. They hear it. They see their peers talking, so they do the same. And honestly, I feel like just the heart of gold that my mom has, the heart of gold that my Sister Banke and my pastor Mrs. the purity of hearts that they carry, the genuineness, the loving, the love, the service, it is just a beautiful, like, it's literally so beautiful that it creates room for just growth, for continuous progress to be made in life and in our journey with God. So if you've watched this video up until now, I'd like to encourage you to please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and put a comment down below. Tell me 3 women that have impacted you the most significantly, and tell me as well what about them has impacted you greatly. Yeah, let me know in the comment section. I would love to read from you. Thank you so much for watching this video once again. It's such a privilege and an honor to have you on this channel. So until next time I come your way, you stay blessed. Bye.